Good morning. The topic of our today's lecture is the Indo-European family of languages. The most widely studied language family in the world is the Indo-European. There are a number of reasons for this. Many of the most important languages of the world are Indo-European. Those languages are official or co-official in many countries and are important in academic, technical, and world organizations. For example, English, Spanish, French, German, Russian, languages that are essential in multinational contexts or with large number of speakers. For example, Portuguese, Hindi, German, Bengali. Some of the great classical languages of religion, culture, and philosophy were Indo-European. For example, Latin, Greek, Persian, Sanskrit, Pali. And we know that there are 12 branches of Indo-European family. The first branch is Celtic branch. This is now the smallest branch. This language originated in Central Europe and once dominated Western Europe. The people migrated across to the British Isles over 2,000 years ago. Later, when the Germanic-speaking Anglo-Saxons arrived, the Celtic speakers were pushed in Wales, Ireland, and Scotland. One group of Celts moved back to France. Their language became Breton spoken in the Brittany region of the France. Breton is closer to Welsh than to French. And the next branch is the Germanic branch. These languages originate from Old Norse and Saxon. Due to the influence of early Christian missionaries, the vast majority of the Celts and Germanic languages use the Latin alphabet. They include English, the second most spoken language in the world, the most widespread, the language of technology, and the language with the largest vocabulary, a useful language to have as their mother tongue. Dutch and German are the closest major language related to English, and even closer relative in Frisian. And the next branch is Latin branch, also called the Italic or Romance language. These languages are all derived from Latin. Latin is one of the most important classical languages. Its alphabet, it's derived from the Greek alphabet, is used by many languages of the world. Latin was long used by the scientific establishment and the Catholic Church as their means of communication. And next branch is Slavic branch. These languages are confined to Eastern Europe. In general, the Catholic peoples use the Latin alphabet while Orthodox use the Cyrillic alphabet, which is derived from the Greek. Indeed, some of the languages are very similar, differing only in the script used. And the next language, next branch of Indo-European language is Baltic branch. 3 Baltic states, but only 2 Baltic languages. Lithuanian is one of the oldest of the Indo-European language. Lithuanian and Latvian both use the Latin script and have tones. Lithuanian has 3 numbers, singular, dual, plural. Prussian is an extinct language from this branch. And the next branch is Hellenic branch. The only extant language in this branch is modern Greek. Greek is one of the oldest Indo-European languages. Mycenaean dates from 1300 BC. The ancient Greek of Homer was written from around 700 BC. The New Testament of the Christian Bible was written in from of the 1st century. This developed into the Greek of the Byzantine Empire. Modern Greek has developed from this branch. And the next branch is Illyric branch. Albanian belongs to a single language branch. It has been written in the Latin script since 1909. This replaced a number of writing systems, including Greek and Arabic script. Albanian has many avoidance words. Many noun plurals are irregular. The next branch is Anatolian branch. This branch includes language of the Hittite civilization, which once ruled central Anatolia, fought the ancient Egyptians and was mentioned in the Christian Bible's Old Testament. Other languages were Lydian, Lycian, Luwian, and Pellaeic. All language in this branch is extinct. Hittite is the earliest Indo-European language known in Europe. It has two noun genders, animate and inanimate. It has first positions. And the next branch is Thracian branch. This branch is represented by a single modern language, Armenian. It has its own script. Armenian is spoken in Armenia and Nagorno-Karabakh. The language is rich in consonant and has borrowed much of the vocabulary from Farsi. Nouns have 7 cases, and the past tense of verbs take an E prefix, like Greek. 3 extinct languages from this branch are Dacian, Thracian, and Frisian. And the next branch is Iranian branch. These languages are descended from Ancient Persian, the literary language of the Persian Empire, and one of the great classical languages. The main language of this branch is Farsi, the main language of Iran and much of the Afghanistan. Kurdish is a close relation. Kurdish is spoken in Turkey, Syria, Iran, and Iraq by the Kurds. It's the second largest of the Iranian languages after Farsi. In Turkey, it was banned until listened. The next branch is the Indic branch. This branch had the most languages. Most are found in North India. They are derived from Sanskrit. This gave rise to Pali, or the Magadhi, and their ancestor of the modern North Indian language. Of the modern North Indian language, Hindi and Urdu are very similar but differ in script. The Hindi speakers are Hindus and use a Sanskrit writing system called Devanagari. It means writing of the gods. And the next and the last branch is Tocharian branch. Tufanian and Kurchin are recently identified extinct language once spoken in northwest China. Very little is known about this branch, as only a few manuscripts dating from 600 AD are in existence. The language disappeared around the 8th century. The closest relatives of these languages are from the Celtic, Anatolian, and Latin ranges. Now, the Indo-European languages are a family of several hundred related languages and dialects. Indo-European languages are spoken by almost 3 billion native speakers, the largest number of any recognized language family. Indo-European today, Spanish, English, Hindi, Portuguese, Bengali, Russian, German, Marathi, French, Italian, Punjabi, and Urdu, accounting for over 1.7 billion native speakers. And this is a large information about today's lecture. And here are some resources for improving your knowledge on this topic. Good luck.